What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 93 of Lured Up, a podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Monday, August 26, 2019. I'm your host, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-hosts, Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator. Hi, friends.
Hello there.
Hey, what's going on? Why is it Monday? Why is it not Sunday?
So, because we have a special guest who had availability tonight, so we made that happen.
Ooh.
We are joined today
We have a special guest.
by Fitz City, writer for GoHub. What's up, dude?
friend.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Dude, I'm psyched that you're on. We were messaging a couple months ago on Twitter, and it was just like, ooh, let's connect and do something, and the opportunity opened, and kapow, you is here.
I am here.
That's awesome. All right, man, we'll get to know you in just a moment. I just got a little housekeeping to cover really quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
Oh, it sure is.
It gets better every time. And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons.
Here we go.
Brittany J, Matt M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L, The Noise, Harry, Poke, Nadbot, Purple Pancakes, Dem Gears, Be Bangin', Lady Googly Meat, Super Nerd, Fox, Go Ranger Matt, Reversal, The Phoenix, Baker Boy, Jolt Switch, Alex, The Illustrious Overseer, and Jason.
Oh, wow.
I did it. I was one
Good
breath,
job.
y'all. I did it.
We
that
can
was
breathe
that
again.
was a world record. Also, a huge shout out to our executive producer Paul Bott and our Elite Four patron Jessica Pfeiffer. Thank you guys
Love
so
you
incredibly
guys.
much for your support.
Thank you guys.
And girls.
And if Patreon isn't your thing, there's a few other ways you can help out the show. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you could take a moment to leave us a review. 5 stars are the best stars. On today's show, we're going to get to know Fitz City. We're going to talk about the Water Festival. We have a massive APK Mine of 0.153.0 that will kind of jump headlong into. Melissa's ready to do a belly flop into it.
No, nerds.
She's ready to talk ones and zeros. No, she's not.
She's ready to enter the Matrix.
We also have dates for all the remaining 2019 community days, and we're going to have a little discussion about playing the game every day and the fear of missing out. Also, we'll wrap up with a Blastoise raid guide and battle party. Can you believe we've never done a raid guide for Blastoise?
What? Really?
What's a Blastoise?
Yo, he's actually a tough tier 4. So we'll talk about that, and I'm sure I'll bring 6 of the same Pokemon just to be boring and efficient. All right, Fitz City, what's going on, man? Why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know where you're from and what you're all about.
Sure. Yeah. So, what's up, guys? It's your boy Fitz City.
Hi.
I'm from Central Illinois and currently going to school to be an electrical engineer. I'm on my last year. So,
Nice.
also write articles for the Go Hub. I've been doing it since it'll be 2 years come this December. So pretty soon it'll be 2 years.
Wow.
And how did that all start with you? Like, well, what's your history with Pokemon? I mean, has this been a new thing since Pokemon Go, or have you attached to the franchise before that?
So I was actually attached to the franchise before that. It started off when Pokemon cards first came out. My dad just randomly bought cards because it was something new. A lot of people didn't know about it. And he started buying me cards when I was growing up. And then lo and behold, I loved getting holographics. I always thought they were cool. And then my first Pokemon game, legit one, was Sapphire. And I think that was a good one to start out with because the series...
That's still blue, right?
It is still blue, yeah.
Adam's
just needed
always
to
trying
throw
to
that
get
in.
points for blue.
So, and then Gen 3 is my favorite, obviously due to that. But I did play the main series games up until that point afterwards. And as far as like Go Hub, how did it start? It was interesting. So Antonio, the guy that actually made the Go Hub from scratch, the owner, I guess you could say, he was looking for new workers. The last workers they were friends and family, and it just kind of didn't work out. We all know how that goes, right?
Right.
So he put out some applications. I'm like, you know what? I want to help people with the Pokemon knowledge that I know, because I used to just sit on the Sylph website and literally memorize every move and every stat for every Pokemon.
Yes.
So
yes.
Oh,
I figured I could
Wow.
just help people, and this was an opportunity, and boom, here I am writing articles still to this day.
That's
Love
awesome, man. I mean, it's like I always love to hear stories like that because I experienced something similar to that with a former community that I was involved with the Toys to Life, genre of video games. That's how I actually connected with Adam initially. So it was like, it's cool to be a fan of something, and then all of a sudden you're engaged in a creative way. That's really cool. That's pretty awesome. It was just like hey, here's an application. Let me check this out. It's awesome.
Always, relish opportunities, right?
Hell yeah. And what's your style of play and going to school and writing and all that good stuff? Like, how often do you get to play the game, and what's your favorite way to do it?
Contrary to popular belief, I play more casually than I do dedicated. When the game first came out, I played super hardcore till like 3 a.m. every day, but that died off pretty quickly. Right now, I like to do raids every now and then and shiny hunt mostly. Stardust grinding is important when the Stardust events come out. I do that, but mostly just kind of casual raids and shiny hunting.
Nice. That's like Melissa's. That's like how she rolls. She'll
That's
do a couple raids and then go for those shinies.
I did a raid today, and I got a shiny Clamperl, so I was happy.
What? You didn't even tell me.
I know.
God. I got a shiny Mischievous today. I didn't tell you that.
Oh, wow.
Ew.
Yo, highway snipe, 55 miles an hour.
Really?
Wow. That's impressive.
I never even get anything to spawn at that speed.
Adam had Onyx the other day on the highway, right?
Yeah. It literally
And
was so
shiny.
random.
It was
It was
too.
so random. It was so far away, and I clicked it. I just saw the little load symbol. I was like, this will never work. And then it just brings it up and it's green. I'm like, slow it down. Get into the right lane.
I know. That's awesome. But no, that's cool, man, because playing this game, like they're being connected with the community and being connected on social media and being in front of content creators and all this stuff, you meet like the elite of elite players that are, beyond dedicated to the point of like utter freaking insanity. You know what I mean? So it's like the Terry Wolfs of the world who are like, hey, I'm just going to leave the house for a minute and I'll be back in, 14 hours after I've, played for 14 hours straight and gone through 3 battery packs and all that. Like we see those people, but like, those are like the 0.00%, 1% of the world. So it's always cool to hear how people play because shit, man, it's like, I wish I could play this game more. So it's like I have to be selective with how I actually engage with the game during the times that I could actually play.
Right.
And it's like raids and shiny hunting. It's like, it's so accessible. It's like you could stop and do a raid for a couple minutes. It's great. That's what I think keeps people connected to the game. That makes them feel like they don't necessarily have to be, plugged into the Matrix 24/7,
right.
Which most of us are anyway. But that's another story. But so, what's your favorite experience been with GoHub so far? Like, I mean, have you ever gone like you're from Illinois. There's like with GoFest and stuff. Like, how is that whole experience with getting like a global team kind of together? Because there's people spread out from all over the world, right?
Yeah. So I would say it kind of goes hand in hand, sort of. So the best experience is meeting in person at GoFest some of my fellow coworkers, because thankfully we have a little bit of ties with Niantic, and they allow us gracefully to have free tickets to go, and we're forever grateful for that. Of course, we have to pay for the travel expenses. It's not like some of the other big YouTubers, but
yeah, it wasn't hashtag sponsored.
right. But they're gracious enough to give us free tickets if we could go. And I would say the best experience is definitely meeting some of my coworkers here in the United States. Now, outside the United States, I still think the networking and the talks that we have in the GoHub Discord with my fellow international coworkers, it's phenomenal. Some of the minds that we just pick each other's minds and stuff. It's absolutely great.
I think it's, for especially covering a game that's, socially based and community based, having kind of representation from as diverse a geographic, thing as possible is going to be paramount to like, creating and being able to paint this awesome picture, because, the geography of where you're from dictates pretty much how you can engage with the game. So it's super important to have people that are all spread out. So, and then also when you do that, you have a larger pool of people to select from, and you find these great talents because you're just you know, you have a sea of opportunity, you know, in all these other places. But that's cool, man. It's like, it's got to be, that's one thing that I really liked with the people that I met from the team at GoFest. Even like people that were just giving out swag walking around. It was like, dude, I'm trying to pin your accent. Where are you from? You know what I mean? Like it's really cool to kind of experience that because we have such a common ground. It doesn't make a difference. It's just it's all about the Pokemon. It's super cool.
Absolutely.
So you said you had connections with Niantic. I mean, we're fortunate to be in the same boat where, you know, we were able to get press passes and all that good stuff. And I think that when it comes to the content creators, it's, you know, you got to remember for the first year of the game, like Niantic was like radio silent. Like no one heard from them. Like, you know, Trainer Tips was the rage, and Mystic 7 was still freaking huge and getting tons and tons of views, but they had no word at all from Niantic. Like it was just dead. And then all of a sudden it kind of started picking up, and then all of a sudden, you know, they started working with media outlets and news outlets and, you know, all that good stuff. I think what makes GoHub interesting, and we source like fucking 90% of our content from GoHub articles, you know, because you guys are so quick to turn that shit around. And I think when you have people operating in different time zones, that also gives you a significant advantage to kind of get media, you know, be first to publish. And that's always something that's very interesting to me, where like something will just happen and, you know, I'll see a social media post from Niantic, but then there'll be an article written on GoHub, and like the Pokemon Go live blog post from Niantic hasn't even posted yet. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how does this happen? Like, you know, how do you stay on top of this shit? And it's like, I think that's another cool thing about having a global team is, you know, you get to experience like getting news delivered from all different points of the day, you know, from around the world. It's pretty awesome.
I was usually pretty good about speculation, but I'm not the only one on the team that's good with speculation. So we'll have a pre-write-up of a topic ready to go and might just need a couple tweaks. And then if it's correct, boom. And usually that happens 9 out of 10 times.
Brilliant.
You have like a tinfoil hat session. Like everyone writes like what they think is going to happen.
Pretty much. Well, like with Gen 5 right now, we know they're going to release all of Gen 5. So we can already like get some articles ready to go about some of the best Gen 5 Pokemon when they drop. And if some of them become to be in raids, we already know what the best counters are. So it's quick.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about Gen 5? You think the starters are coming along with like Clink and Patrat and stuff?
You know
the
what?
Starters are going to come?
It's interesting because they just show 3 new shinies. Well, we're not all stupid. That there's no way that they're just going to release nothing but shiny Pokemon. I do think that they're going to release either starters or just a small batch of more Gen 5 Pokemon, because it would be absolutely silly to just release nothing but shinies, because that's something they've never done before.
Melissa, how do you feel about that? You were like, they better fucking release the starters.
Yeah, they're gonna. If they don't fucking release the starters, that'd be stupid.
Yeah,
you heard it here first, folks.
They would be stupid.
No, it's like they in the blog post they only talk about the shinies, but then in like one of those little 60-second cool cut animated videos they show the starters. So it's like it's got to be coming. I don't know. I'm sure that there's plenty of Pokemon in the generation that they can afford to do a chunk at a time, because this rollout's going to be slow and long, especially with the legendaries.
Well, I hope that they don't break it up like they did Gen 4. Gen 4 was the worst rollout in Pokemon Go history, easily.
I like how they did Gen 3.
Yes. That
was a little bit more smooth.
It was 3 big batches, right? Pretty much? Yeah.
It kept you busy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We talked about it last week on the show, how like releasing a generation kind of affects different players differently, because you're going to have the people that are going to go so hard day one, get as much as they can. They've, like I've got like 400 rare candy banked up.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say, you saved up so many
it.
rare candies so you can just get the evolutions instantly.
Right.
But then it's like you end up 4 or 5 days in and you're like, fuck, the dex is full already from everything that's released. So it's like, it's, you gotta have that balance. So from Niantic, that's gotta be nuts. Like trying to satisfy the player base of like, how can we make everybody happy? I guess you're never going to make everybody happy.
Right. I still don't have a Garchomp, let alone a Gibble.
I still don't have one of those either.
That is like the mega holdout. Like they've really trolled everybody, because every generation has had the rare, couple spawns, but fucking Gibble, man, it's like I've only seen one and it was a hatch.
Wow.
So it's like, I forget about it. It's like people are losing their minds. It's like, that's got to be next to an unknown.
Pretty much.
That's like the craziest thing. Or like, even like I'm seeing people tagging like a Zelf in my Discord, like more than they're tagging Gibble.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But I also noticed, so like, when we had you booked for the show, I started like looking into your, the links that you have on your Twitter and stuff, and I saw you're doing some different content outside of Pokemon Go, man. And I was just like, oh shit. And all of a sudden I found myself watching like you play a shooter for a while, and I was like, damn, I haven't watched someone play a shooter in forever. Like, I saw you're on Mixer. How is it?
It's good. I was on Twitch, but it's so hard to grow and get recognized on Twitch because some of the big honchos on there, like Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, like, why would someone want to watch me? Those guys are awesome, right? So I went over to Mixer because I was thinking, like, Ninja went over there. Mixer is still new. A lot of people don't realize it's only like a year and a half, 2 years old. And I didn't realize that either. I thought it was a lot older. So went on there, started streaming, got some success already. I have like 90 followers and I only had 25 in like the year and a half I was streaming on Twitch.
Nice.
But I would say the number one thing for anyone that wants to stream any kind of games, whether it's even Pokemon Go on Mixer, is the people watching, the interaction, the things they can do while you're streaming is just phenomenal. You can actually engage in fun little games and ways and support your person that you're watching in such fun ways than you can on Twitch or even YouTube, because YouTube, you can only donate, right? Well, you can't do any fun mini games or show some funny stuff while, they're streaming, but you can on Mixer. So I think it's gonna blow up. So anyone listening to this, if you thought about going to Mixer for Pokemon Go or any other game, try it out because it's a lot of fun.
Well,
I've been trying to push my son to start a Mixer channel for playing his dinosaur games because he loves playing Ark and the Isle, and he's into his dinos.
Yeah, he's
like funny.
I asked him the other day. He needed something. I don't know what I wanted him to buy with his own money. It was like $15, and he's like, "No, Dad, I'm saving for the Elgato green screen."
He said that to me today too.
I was like, "That's my boy."
There you go.
But when I watched your video, that was the first experience I've ever had on Mixer.
Really?
So
did you check it out? All the bells and whistles, kind of? Or?
It's wild, man. I was just like, it was really cool, and like I was watching it on mobile, and it was like this video will be enhanced on our mobile app, and that's when I started digging into like what it can all do, and I was like, this is cool. It like gamifies the gaming viewing experience. It's like pretty cool.
It's also what they tout, and it seems to be almost exact, but 1 millisecond response times. So you get literally one-on-one interaction with your chat.
That's legit.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's legit. I know like some of the bigger Twitch channels, I'm a fan of Kinda Funny, so I watch all their content. They do a ton of stuff on Twitch, and because they have a certain, level of relationship with Twitch, they're in their Twitch low latency mode, and that allows them to do that. Oh. And it's like, unless you're like the elite of the elite, it's almost like impossible to achieve that on Twitch. So that's pretty cool that just out of the gate on Mixer, you get that. I swear this isn't a fucking Mixer commercial, but it's like, it sounds awesome.
Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored, right?
Well, one last thing, like tying this to YouTube, because a lot of the Pokemon Go content creators stream via YouTube, even myself, is that, the latency thing. The one thing you could do on YouTube is, you could lower the latency, but you're sacrificing quality, and that's an issue.
Sure.
I think. That's the the pros and cons between Mixer and like YouTube, for example.
Sounds like it's got a good shit going. It's got its act together.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Well, I mean, and with it being, you said 2 years old, but I'd imagine that Pokemon Go content creators are even less populous on that platform. So it's no better time to get in.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
that's awesome. So with you making your own video content on YouTube, because you do Go videos on YouTube, and I've seen you play the shooters on Mixer. But I guess it's, your relationship with GoHub, it's cool. They allow you to kind of do your own thing and create your own content with your own brand. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's nice because one thing that I kind of found funny is, I mean, this is no knock to anybody that makes, Pokemon Go videos, but they would like go over GoHub articles in their video and not reference it at all. So I mean, and another thing is what's interesting is like when I cover an article or something, it's a coworker and I have a little bit more credibility kind of going over it. And that's kind of what I like. And I don't necessarily have to reference the article, but depending on what it is, if there's a lot of info, I always drop that link in the description so people can kind of read over it. Because a lot of things people don't want to do is watch you read an article. What they care about is your opinions and what you think about the content in an article. But a lot of people make the mistakes of just reading the article. Like, look, someone can just go on the website and read it themselves. They don't have to listen to you read it.
Yeah, especially like in a video format is one thing, but like even with our format, even more so. Because, you know, we'll always, you know, credit where we find it. We always link it in the description and everything. But even when you're in the audio format, it's like a lot of the times we're talking about charts or we're talking about something that would represent itself a little bit better visually. So it is important to always, you know, reference back, not only to credit the the author, but also as, you know, a reference to the audience. Because if you're, I notice JT Gilly does a real good job of that. Because he'll be, when he does his news segments, he's like literally just straight up in the camera reading the article, and he always credits out, which is good. So shout out to Gilly.
Absolutely.
That's great though. I mean, has GoHub ever expressed any interest in doing video content?
No. Which is interesting, I thought, because I always pump out videos, whether it's just my own kind of analysis over something or actually going over an article. But the way that like the boss is so busy with his day job, and of course he lives in Croatia, so the time frames are ridiculous. Yep. I think he's like 8 hours ahead or something. It's crazy. But and then everyone else that's on the actual team, they're not very experienced in video making and editing or whatnot either. And as I was reading this, and I knew you were going to ask this, I was thinking to myself, what if I got in hold of Antonio and said, look, dude, if you just give me like control of the GoHub YouTube channel, I could make it into something. You know what I mean? Because how many times?
Making moves.
How many times have you guys? Because I thought of this from an actual like person standpoint. How many times have you guys read an article and not necessarily 100% understood everything?
Sure, absolutely,
yeah,
and
definitely.
Like I don't watch or visit too many like outside of Pokemon Go news sites, but I always like when there's a companion video to the article, even if it's like you're clicking on like an E-Entertainment article, and it's like some dude in a tight suit, explaining the article at the top of the show on a green screen, you know what I mean? At the top of the article. Like, I like when that has it. Like, I would enjoy watching a GoHub video at the top of a GoHub article page, because the audience, it's a captive audience at that point.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to send them to your YouTube channel for them to watch the video. You could just embed it in the article. They're already there. And it's like, some people will better absorb information if it's told to them rather than them reading it.
Right.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. That's like, I'm very visual. So when I saw like when FLW videos, he was like, oh, this is how you do the fast catch. It's like, all right, that explains it.
It was like an aha moment because you heard people talk about it, but never saw it.
He's a good friend of mine. Out of all the YouTubers, me and him are very tight and very close. We talk almost on a daily basis.
Dude, we had him on the show. He's great because he's so different. And I love the fact that he just seems so fucking like clean cut.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like, it's so hilarious.
He's a professional.
Yeah, it's so great. But then he does these wacky videos that get super creative, and he's able to do things that like no one else is doing. And it's like, it's not like he needs to even do something that's different from something someone else is doing. Like, he's the only one doing the shit he does. So it's like, it's always really fun. But yeah, our direct community in our Discord, they're like, yo, you got to have FLW videos on again, because the channel has developed and grown like so much since we had him on. He's like, yo, all our, Terry Wolf, he's like podcast super fan number one. He's involved with all the podcasts. He's a fantastic raving fan of the platform. But he's always like showing me, like he showed me Zionic early on. Like he's my inside line to like content creators. And he was just like, yo, you got to have FLW videos back on. His videos are fucking awesome, man. Yeah. So good. But yeah, we'll get him back on. If you talk to him tomorrow, I'll be like, yo, hit me up.
Yeah,
because,
I will.
We'll get him. We'll definitely get him back on the show. It's cool. But dude, I honestly, you should definitely talk to the boss man, because I think that could be a pretty sweet opportunity for you, especially because you have experience.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah, well,
He says no.
I think, I mean, obviously I haven't talked to him about it, but I guess I'd get your guys' opinion on it. What would you think, like, should I probably, if I were to do this and he would agree to this, take on the role of just the GoHub name on YouTube and just operate on that? Because I would probably have to leave my channel to focus, on, because I started my channel to help people, right? That was the whole point. That's the whole point why I joined GoHub, and that's the whole point why I started YouTube, was to help people. So if I could just operate under the GoHub name, since I already write actual, articles to help people, then it would make sense to probably just jump over there, wouldn't you think?
Hell yeah, dude.
100%. Because you're still helping.
See, oh,
people.
look,
Right.
Melissa's the voice of reason. Wait. Melissa's the voice of reason here. She's always.
I say yes, but I also want to say look out for number one, though. Like, why can't you help people but also promote yourself as your own entity? Like, why give it all to GoHub? Why not keep a little bit for yourself?
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Make it like a
why
couple
don't
of
you keep
gaming
your
situation.
why don't you keep your channel and have it embedded into GoHub as extra content that they could absorb all at once?
I thought about that, but one thing that was interesting, I thought that, like, once as I was making videos and became a part of the GoHub, I thought maybe my channel would blow up a bit because I actually have credibility to what I say, right? Well, that didn't really work out.
YouTube is hard.
Not as I'd planned.
YouTube is hard, but well, the one thing is about, and Antonio already knows this, but he's such a cool boss. He's so laid back. He wouldn't even care if, like, any of the profits or anything. Like, he wouldn't even want to see it. He doesn't even care. He didn't start the GoHub to make a profit. He started the GoHub to help people, and he had no idea that it would blow up this big. But here we are today. It's probably it is the number one Pokemon GoHub news source. And even when the game is, like, dead, we kind of credit ourselves to saying, hey, we're the ones that kind of keep it alive, because we can pump out these really cool, interesting articles to keep people's interest and keep that flame burning and passion for Pokemon Go, even though there's times when it's slow.
I would go after it, man, because one, your reach would be awesome, and two, you've got experience. I mean, you know how to work OBS and recording. You have a microphone and all that good stuff. But
honestly, it seems like you're super eager about it, and you seem really passionate about it. And if it's something that's gonna make you happy and something you think you're gonna enjoy, and you have the time to take on, then do it, dude.
Yeah, just go for it.
Appreciate that.
Oh shit!
The boss is gonna seem to be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
What happened? Go back to writing articles.
I picture like the
Type away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to work on a Sunday. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to retype this.
Video content aside, what do you hope to see, is in the future for GoHub, and at least from an editorial perspective, like, opportunities to write, expansion of the team, different ways to cover the game, like anything you're looking forward to with, your work there?
Honestly, I hope that we expand further as a team as far as the uniqueness of writers. Because one thing that I like about our team is everyone has their own style. And I think that's important because each style speaks to different people. So what I hope is the GoHub becomes more stylized, because we have a lot of templates that we copy and paste. And that's great to pump out some articles. But I think style is really important. So hopefully we kind of keep stylizing the articles and keep them, I guess you could say, up to date, but unique. Because our main competitor, you could say, is Game Press, and their website and the way that their things run are different. So as long as we kind of keep our own special things onto the articles, I think would be best for the GoHub going forward. Networking too, I think even more better relationship with Niantic. I think better relationships with the big time YouTubers, and even maybe some other companies as well. I think would be a huge benefit and a good future for the GoHub.
Awesome. Anything you look forward to covering? Is it, have you traveled for the game?
No, not really. Of course, I've been to every Go Fest, but as far as like actually traveling somewhere to play the game, not really. I know what it's like to play in rural versus non-rural. What I hope to cover next, honestly, is Gen 5. There's a lot of good Pokemon in there. It's really going to change up the metagame and whatnot. So I'm pretty excited for Gen 5.
Nice, awesome, man. That's great. And as a
Yeah, I can't
creator,
wait.
you know, I was going to ask you what your goals are as a creator, but I think we might have covered it.
Yeah, well, because like Poke is another YouTuber that I'm fairly close to, that I have contact with, and him and FLW videos really like me, the content I put out and stuff. So as a goal, I just want to reach more people, and it's for non-selfish reasons. Like, I want to grow and get more subs on YouTube so I can reach more people, so I can help more people. There's a lot of people that start up YouTube just go money hungry, right? That's not that's like the cherry on top, but you got to build up to that. And then once you get that, it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. You know, I'm getting paid for this, but that's not the main reason why you're doing it. So I guess my goal is to try to reach more people.
That's a fucking great noble goal, man. I think that's a great foundation too, to, you know, to build a brand around, because the reach that you have, and, you know, the potential ears and people and minds you can influence is, you know, that's what it's all about. That's great, especially when you're doing something positive and helping people out. That's all good shit, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was awesome.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate, you know,
It's nice talking to you.
Yeah, man. And best of luck. And I hope, dude, if anyone out there in Pokemon Go Hub land is listening, I honestly think that, you know, the one thing that's really missing is some degree of a video component, man. And I'm all for it. I'll give one of Adam and Melissa. What do you think?
On the
Go
video.
for it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Why don't you let our community know where they can find you, and you know, where we should send some traffic over to?
All right, so you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Fitz City. It's all one word, capital F, capital C. You can also follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of stuff about the articles. I always retweet them. Some of the videos, if you can't catch them on YouTube, and just some general things of my Pokemon Go life. Oh, I caught this shiny. So it's pretty exciting stuff. You can find that at FitzCity22. And then if you enjoy any other games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, Call of Duty, you can follow me at Mixer at FitzCity with the underscore in between Fitz and City.
Awesome, man. All the links will be in the description. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you connect and follow on all those platforms. But dude, thanks again so much for coming on. I guess
thanks for coming out and hanging out with us.
Yeah, maybe we'll connect at the next Chicago Go Fest if there is one.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be awesome. All right, for everyone else, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to run through the news of the week, including the Water Festival and the big APK Mine of 153.0. We'll be right back right after this Slowpoke Jam.
Is it slow?
Hold up, everyone. Are you ready for a sing-along? Slowpoke in a reggae style. Pokemon.
And we're back from our break. Thank you guys so much for that. Thank you to Fitz City, representing PokemonGoHub.net. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Very insightful.
We got a lot of information from the people that give us a lot of information.
Yo, I really hope that he does video shit for Pokemon Go Hub, man. I think that's a great idea to have little, you know, easy to produce companion videos to the articles. I think that would be would provide a great service and would be very cool. I think that would work. Back half of the show, got a lot to cover here. Water Festival is underway. I want to talk shinies. There's an APK mine of 0.153.0. It's a big one. A lot of good stuff in here.
Oh, boy.
We now have dates for all the 2019 remaining community days. We'll talk about that and kind of speculate on how they're going to do it. I want to have a discussion. I actually got to bring up Twitter of playing every day and the fear of missing out, and then we'll wrap up with a Blastoise raid guide and battle party. All right.
Whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
whoop.
Water Festival's underway. Adam, you want to break down what we're kind of benefiting from at the moment?
We're getting more water types.
Shocking.
You're getting flooded. You're getting flooded.
We're flooded with water
Pokemon.
types.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Crazy.
Yeah, so more Pokemon, water Pokemon in the wild. You know, lots of Magikarp and Wooper and Wailmer.
I'll take the Magikarps, bro.
I want a shiny Krabby.
Yeah, I shiny what? I can't get shiny anything.
It's a shiny.
I can't.
There's more water type Pokemon around water. Huh, weird.
I've
Which is
heard mixed
actually
feelings
cool.
on this.
Because
I've heard
I
mixed
played on
reviews.
the board. I literally played on the boardwalk, and I lured everything up on Sunday. and I had an incense on, and I didn't see shit extra. I was having like fucking 1 or 2 spawns at each stop. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? That's a normal thing. And this shit
They
is
just
Florida.
wanted to take your money. That's all.
I was they wanted to steal all my shit. Fucking
That
bastard.
sucks. Well, I was in Red Bank on Sunday, and the spawns were normal, like normal for Red Bank. They just happened to be the water spawns, but that sucks. But there was people. I think Jackie K and maybe someone else was in our Discord and said that they were maybe Dave Storm Chaser. He was playing down by a lake or down by a river and didn't notice like any of the specific spawns that were supposed to be spawning at the
because they were like, oh, boar turtle, poliwag, sea king, lapras,
I didn't see any
quillfish.
of that.
Like,
because Lapras, I would be if there was like I was in Red Bank along the marina. And I did not see any Lapras or any Lotad or any Phoebus. You know what I mean? Like, actually, I did see a Finneon. He's on the
that's
list.
like a huge incentive to like get out and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
they
if people
played
aren't
us.
seeing
And they
them,
played me. And then I went out, and I went. And I was like, why am I here?
Well, maybe
hold up.
the ocean isn't
another
mapped
side
properly
up.
in OpenStreetMaps.
Really?
The ocean isn't tagged as the ocean.
Really? Because it's a big
All right,
fucking
guys.
blue spot on the thing.
before you guys splashed in my face,
Keep going. Didn't mean
so-
to drown you out.
yeah,
Come on, guys, it's a wash.
just water. You got to drink it. Our body.
Stop living in your bubble.
Listen, eggs contain more water-type Pokemon. So the eggs you're getting from stops have more water-type Pokemon. If the water Pokemon spawns weren't enough, here's some eggs with water Pokemon.
Who's is that? Melissa?
No, that is
No,
not
that
me.
was Chanel.
Oh, girlfriend points deduction.
Yeah, right?
5
She's
demerits.
been good this entire podcast.
5
until now.
demerits.
And then there's a new move. It's called Crab Hammer. Kingler and Crawdont can now use them.
Well, after you finish running through the summary here, I do want to talk about Crab Hammer.
Well, it's just a washout. There's more water Pokemon in raids, and Uxie, Misfit, and Azelf are going to be in 5-star raids on the 28th from 6 to 7 p.m. local time.
Right, so there's going to be a raid hour for them.
Hold on.
They're not breaking region lock, though.
No, I know. Everybody wants it to. Shiny Carvana and Shiny Barboach. Have you guys got any?
No.
No.
I was going to say, how you guys doing?
I was walking out of work today, and I clicked on a Barboach, and it was shiny.
Nice, dude. Of course.
I
All right,
got
but-
the... Hold on. It's a cool little tiny story. I clicked it. I gave it a Golden Raz, an Ultra Ball. I did a terrible curveball throw. It was literally the worst. I was like, if it pops out, I wouldn't even be surprised. And it had the error message that was like, item
No.
can't be used. And I'm like,
It's weird.
And then right after that, I got the battery low symbol that was like, oh, you're at 10%. I'm like, great. So what else could go wrong while trying to catch a shiny here? And so I'm like, okay. Golden Razzed it again, and then it disappeared. Like, it
No.
wasn't on the screen, and I'm like, whew. So I threw like a couple balls, and I'm like, I don't. It was right next to me. It had just spawned. I was like, I'm gonna run away, and I ran away, and it wasn't there. And then I clicked to my box, and I'm like, oh my god, it's there.
It was just in your box.
I was gonna
caught it.
cry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
cry. It's so beautiful.
No, these are good looking shinies. That Carvana looks freaking amazing. Looks really good. Really, really good.
I want the purple
Well,
shark.
it's the Carvana and the Barboach that looks so nice. Like Sharpedo is just a little purple, and Wishcash almost
Wishcash
looks
is-
no different. at all.
Yeah. But I've definitely seen a lot of spawns, though, so the event hasn't let us down when it comes to, these Pokemon being everywhere.
Right. And then the other 2 perks of the event is ×2 Hatch Candy and halved buddy distance for water-type Pokemon, which is fantastic for my 100% Relicanth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Phoebus, because you need that to walk. So
Yeah, I'm walking.
Yeah,
that
well,
bad
you
boy
still have
right
to
now.
walk the Phoebus 20, though. It just gets more candy, so.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, you still have to walk it 20 kilometers.
that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let me talk about Crab Hammer here, because this kind of set the Twitter on fire for a minute. Because
Don't
when
get
they
crabby
released-
about it.
Don't get crabby. When they released the stats, people were like saying, "Oh, this thing's fucking better than Kyogre with Hydro Pump and blah 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 and all this shit." So apparently, when you look at PvE, 85 damage, 50 energy, and a 2-bar charge move, 1.9 second cooldown. Okay, great damage. Great damage. From a PvP perspective, though, a little less effective. 75 damage for 50 energy, but it has a 12.5% chance to buff the attacker's attack stat by 2 stages. Now, this is the important part here, why this is relevant. It instantly becomes the 6th overall best water type in the game with this, and I've seen people say it has the highest DPS as a water type, but Palkia actually has the highest DPS as a water attacker, but it puts it pretty much at the top of the list of water Pokemon, and it outperforms Kyogre. Now, from a strictly DPS perspective, it's like Gengar, though, where it's just going to get wrecked. Like, it's not going to be able to take a lot of damage. So, obviously, Kyogre is going to be able to stick it out, giggity, much, much longer. But you're still, I'm still using Kyogre. Fuck that. Yeah.
Make it a splash.
All right. Any more water puns?
No, I'm good.
No. All right, good.
Any more drops?
Melissa, you ready for this APK mine? I know you're excited.
Oh, my God, bro. I fucking can't wait. Let's do it.
All right, so this is coming from PokemonGoHub.net. Shout to Fitz City. Melissa, you want to read the next line that I wrote on the notes here? Can you see
Holy
that?
guacamole!
All right, so I wrote "Holy guacamole" on the notes because there is a lot of shit going on in this APK mine, and I'm very fucking excited about it. Gen 5 is there. Dude, I'm very fucking excited. Gen 5 is there, so no, all the Pokemon in the forums, all their names are in the code. No sound effects yet or anything like that, but you can see the complete Pokedex. That's big news. But here's the fucking big deal. 3 things. 3 new items. First, Versus Seeker. This is used to find trainers and duel them.
Oh, what?
Matchmaking is finally fucking coming.
Find trainers to duel them.
So,
Thank
we don't know much about this.
God, it doesn't matter.
Obviously,
You're going to be able to...
We're just looking at... Look, you have to charge this item up.
Oh, God.
How you're going to charge it, I don't know. They may make you put Stardust into... I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. But you have to charge it up, and then once it's charged up, you'll have the ability to find another Pokemon trainer that has a Versus Seeker charged up. It will allow you to remotely duel, and when you do it using a Versus Seeker, it will track your statistics and stats and have a complete ranking system and leaderboard and all that fucking good shit.
Wow.
It's going to be bonkers. This is what we've wanted for so long from Niantic, but it seems like they're monetizing it a bit, because I wouldn't be surprised if the Versus Seeker item is something that you could potentially upgrade in the store, like hold a bigger charge, increase it like a bag, something like that.
See,
I don't know how it's going to work.
I don't know. For some reason, when I hear charge it, I feel like maybe
you gotta walk so many kilometers.
No.
Or what if you have to have X amount of local PvP matches?
That's exactly. Or you have to do a certain amount of trainer battles. That's exactly what I was gonna say. You have to charge it by having, and depending on how you win, how fast you win, what guys you use, if you're just using the recommended or if you're actually picking battles, that's how they're going to match you up with who you're going to play. So, because they're not going to, it'll suck if it's a matchmaking thing and you go into a battle and you lose every fucking time because the matchmaking sucks so bad because you're not getting paired with anybody that...
Well, that's why they're pairing this with this complete ranking system. That's going to break it into leagues. It's going to break it into brackets. So, I have an exceptional amount of faith in Niantic for them to get this right eventually. You know what I mean? Like, to me, this sounds like it could be very difficult to launch and implement. But I'm very confident that with player feedback and seeing it, in practice, that this is something that's going to become freaking awesome. But, I just don't know how this Versus Seeker is going to work. Like, is it, I just hope it doesn't become like a pay to play or pay to win kind of scenario or something like that, because I just hope that the ability to charge it is very accessible, where you just have to commit your time and you'll work it out. It doesn't have to necessarily be skill based.
If I have to pay anything to use it, I'm not using it. and it will completely deter me from doing any kind of thing with the matchmaking. So I don't think that they're going to make people pay. And also, now that it's accessible to kids aren't going to have money, and parents aren't going to want to dump money, I think, just so that their kids can play with other kids.
Well, what if you have to charge it with time, like in a Candy Crush scenario?
Then that's fine.
Where it's like,
Time is free.
you have five charges, and use your 5.
You're walking your
The only way
fucking
get
ass to fucking hatch those eggs, right?
something. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out, but this is very, very exciting. We've wanted matchmaking for a long time. We've wanted an in-game ranking system for a long time. Very, very excited. And I think this is going to add a nice, accessible way to get into PvP that's going to be way more accessible than, a Silpharina or Go Stadium tournament, because you could just pick up the phone and do it. You don't have to jump through any hoops or have other logins or anything like that. Nothing against those third parties, but they're definitely a little bit of a barrier to entry when it comes to working with both of those organizations. All right, next item. Adam, you saw this, the Root Maker?
The Root Maker.
I think of Mentos, the fresh maker. But this is an exciting thing, but it kind of took an unexpected turn with how this might actually work out. So when I heard Root Maker, I thought this was going to be just like Ingress, where you can create these like waypoints, a waypoint system from portal to portal, where you can say, hey, here's a tour of historic, whatever town, and you got to go to these 5 stops in this order to complete the quest, and you earn a reward. That's what I thought this was going to be. But now there's an update to the buddy system coming, which we'll get to in a second, where this Root Maker might tie to the buddy system, where you can send your buddy out on routes to do things. I don't know. But we have a Root Maker. It's going to be able to be used to make routes between Pokestops, and you can name the routes, and there's some kind of degree or some kind of bit in the code that says the max amount of daily attempts and waypoints. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works, but I would love it if it's like Ingress. You could open up your phone, you're visiting a new town, let's say you're in Washington, D.C. for Pokemon Worlds, and it says, here's a little, single-player experience I could do where it's telling me to visit 5 monuments, and it walks me through GPS, shows me the locations of these 5 monuments that I have to visit in-game in order to complete this route. If it's something like that, it'd be great, but it might be tied to the buddy system. Now, the buddy system, Melissa, grooming is coming to the game.
I love that.
You might actually be able to rub
I get to pet my
Snorlax's
Pokemon.
belly.
If I get to pet my Pokemon, I'm happy.
I think so.
Now,
I think this is gonna.
When you say
this is
Root
coming.
Maker and make routes between Pokestops, you know what I picture in my head? My little tinfoil hat. I picture you going to one Pokestop, being able to leave your buddy at that first Pokestop, and then hitting up a bunch of other Pokestops, which marks your route. Every Pokestop you go, and then at the end, like, cashing in and having him, like, warp from one Pokestop to the next.
And maybe collect items?
Yeah, maybe you collect mass items that way, or extra items for however many Pokestops are in your route, or, Well,
that makes sense of how it could use your buddy to kind of tie it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be cool. Or you leave him at a Pokestop, and every time someone spins that stop, your buddy benefits.
Well, then what's your route then? Where are you making a route?
Yeah, I think what Melissa's saying seems more legit, because
so you hit 5 stops, you spin all 5, but you leave your buddy at your first one. When you hit the 5th stop, your buddy then goes, hits all 5 of those stops and comes back to you.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
It's just like how
that'd be
it
cool.
says your buddy found a candy. Your buddy probably finds,
or maybe your buddy gets
a mixture of candies and
Stardust.
items and
yeah.
But it's buddies will now have levels, so you'll be able to level up your buddy. There's something in the code called Buddy Encounter Cameo, where you might be able to actually encounter your buddy in the wild and re-catch him. I don't know what that means. And there's also going to be a motivation meter, and that's probably going to be similar to like the Pokemon Refresh.
The love meter when you get the
yeah. So if you spend time, petting your Pokemon, this meter will charge up, and maybe it'll earn more rewards if it's in a happier mood or something like that.
See, but I want to know. See, the best thing about petting your Pokemon is their little animations. Like, are we just gonna be stuck with the fucking stupid animations that they do in the decks over
idle.
and over again? Rounds. I mean, I love Snorlax. I love his sound, but give me.
It would be
something
awesome
else.
if they have, but can you imagine that though? That means, up to this point, they're still going to already have to have, 400 more animations to make, I don't know.
Yes.
Who knows?
See, that's like Delibird. It's like he's either happy or you touch him and he's angry.
But if you rub him in the right spot,
Right?
you might get a different look.
You ruffle his tail
Hey.
feathers.
But these are good ideas. Let us know what you guys think. Put on your tinfoil hat. What the hell could this mean? Because obviously it's in the code. It's coming sooner than later. This is going to happen. And the last item that they did find in the game was the Unova Stone, which is a really cool design. It's a mixture of black and white, which I'm sure will just be another evolution item that we could use to evolve specific Gen 5 Pokemon. Which ones, we'll find out. But the image, the actual digital asset has been seen. It looks really badass. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, competitive PvP seasons, ranks, and ratings. All right, so this is in there, and we were talking about the whole Versus Seeker thing. So NPCs could potentially play a role because there were some bits of code that kind of talked about NPCs in the same framework as this PvP thing. Remote ranked battles are called duels. So they're latching on to duels. It makes me think of Yu-Gi-Oh! But duels is going to be, I guess, the official duel. But that'll be in there. And then this is going to have start and stop of seasons. So you're going to have different seasons that you can have a ranking for, and it'd be really cool if it starts logging all that. And you see this with a lot of games for, games as service, games like Fortnite or Overwatch, where they break things into seasons, and then they can do different events during different seasons. You have a different rank per season. So it'd be cool if you can, build up a little bit of a, portfolio of your ranks over the seasons. That would be pretty neat. But I'm really excited about this because there's just, we've been really been waiting for this for a long time. But you're really going to be able to see who the best in the world is if they have some kind of global scale, which I really hope they do. Some miscellaneous stuff in the APK, new shaders, which mean that Gen 5 Pokemon are probably going to look fucking awesome. It was like, remember the first time we saw Chimchar and it was like, oh shit, look how awesome he looks. Look how great, he moves around and jumps and stuff.
Yep.
We'll probably have some really sharp looking animations for Gen 5. Pinsir is in the code as a shadow Pokemon. That's pretty cool. We kind of hinted on this last week, but fall versions of Pikachu, Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur have been found. So these are probably some kind of new aesthetic, new hat or something. And now Pokemon Storage will now show a count of filtered Pokemon. So let's say you search on Shiny, rather than just returning all of your Shiny. If you have 85 Shinies, it'll say 85. So you can kind of see like, hey, how many shadow Pokemon do I have? How many legendaries do I have?
That's cool.
How many water Pokemon do I have? You'll be able to see that. So a little quality of life. But it's a lot of shit in this APK. I don't know.
That one
It's gonna
wasn't
be
bad.
interesting to see.
That one was tolerable to go through.
Yeah, there wasn't too much nerd. There was
Well,
more like
because this
Pokemon
is
stuff.
It's all speculation. We're just guessing of what this stuff could be. But yeah, you telling me that once the root maker, the details are actually ripped apart, we're not going to be analyzing it fucking tooth and nail. You know what I mean? Like talking about it. No, this was a good one. A lot of good stuff in here, and nothing that is like you see a little bit of code and you're like, oh, that's never going to happen. Like this is starting to look very
Like
fleshed
it's going
out.
to happen.
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait. So good. So good. All right, Adam, did you see the thank you kind of article that Go Live put out with talking about community days for the rest of the year?
I read a little bit of it.
Adam, what do you think of the 11 to 2 time frame?
I mean, I guess it works.
Melissa, what do you think of that? Do you care?
I'm happy as shit. Get it over
It's
with.
better, right?
Get it over with.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, because
You're right.
it's nice if you're like.
You don't have to get up early as hell in the morning. You can do your shit in the morning. Then you have your little bit of time in the afternoon for the Pokemon, and you still have the rest of your evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you still can go out to eat, go to work if you need to.
Errands.
But we knew about Turtwig Community Day. That's September 15th. Then the dates they released for October are the 12th. We've got November 16th. These are both Saturdays. And then December is a double day. December 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday. So let's speculate here. So normally they do a starter and then an off Pokemon, and then a starter, and then a different Pokemon, and a starter. So now there's 3 days left before December, 3 community days. Do you think that they just do Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup?
Oh God, I hope not.
I mean, they've been giving us a ton of them. Like,
God, I don't.
But do you
need
think
it.
they
I
try
don't
to wrap
want
up the
I
Gen
don't want
4?
a community day for Chimchar. No.
But you're
And
you gotta,
Piplup, they're giving us so many of them right now.
But you got to get the community days because they're starters. They're going to happen unless they completely break away. But why would they do just Turtwig?
Why wouldn't?
See, the thing
why
is,
can't they do it next year?
well, that's the thing. It's like we're going into Gen 5 and they're still going to be doing Gen 4 community days.
Why
I
not?
don't know.
They still do. Don't they still do throwback
Yeah,
community days now?
yeah. But let us know what you guys want to see. What Pokemon do you want to see? Don't say Chansey.
Yes.
Porygon.
Porygon would be awesome.
Porygon would actually be pretty cool. You know, and that's cool too because the generations are the evolutions span generations, so it's not like you're just evolving a starter up.
I
You know?
still fucking need a Porygon too.
Are you
I
serious?
swear to you.
What the F?
I
No
fuck-
candy?
Do you just delete upgrades? That's what you use to evolve it.
I have a ton of upgrades. I just
Okay,
don't
well,
have
you
the
only need
candies.
one, so get rid of the rest.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, use some rare candy up in that shit.
I'm always like very sparse with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got like 415 rare candy right now. It's killing my inventory. I need these Gen 5 Pokemon. I need my shiny Clink so I could just fucking evolve it immediately. All right. December 14th and 15th, you think this is going to be like a one day, maybe all the 2017 community days, and then the next day all the 2018s, like a giant party?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because they did that last year. They gave us all of everything from the year, but now we're a whole another year later. So, do they do all 2 years worth of Pokemon?
No,
on both days?
I think they want to just keep it with just this year because those community moves you want to keep it exclusive. So it promotes trading, promotes interacting with people.
So they do all 11 first community days from 2019 on the 14th, or like combine it? Like how do you think they're going to roll it out?
No, just there's everything from this year.
That's what I'm saying. On both days, same spawns both days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got to do same spawns both days because I would hate that working Saturday and then being able to play on Sunday, but then still only getting 50% of the experience. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes.
Wait, is that the fear of missing out?
That's the fear of missing out.
Yeah, see, I was going to say give me different Pokemon each day. Make it exciting each day.
This is something I want to do. I do want to talk about.
Just give me Delibird.
We've talked about this plenty before. We've definitely talked about the fear of missing out and how this game kind of pressures you into spending all of your free time and your free weekends, and it's like, oh, I can have a Saturday to sit on my ass. Nope, it's fucking raid day, and then the next time it's another raid day, and then here it's community day and all this good stuff. So I put a tweet up today saying, we'll be recording Lured Up episode 93 tonight. I wanted you to join our discussion. How connected are you to your device, the game, and the social media surrounding it? Here's a poll. If I challenged you to take a day off of playing Pokemon Go, how easy would it be for you to do?
Yo, I'm happy as shit when I turn on my game on Mondays and it says, you've hit 5 kilometers. And I'm like, fuck
And
yeah.
you're like, yes, I'll take those 20 balls.
Yeah. I'm happy as hell when I hit my 7-day streak. I'm like, yeah, man, I did it. I turned the game on 7 days in a row. Way to go, me.
So my 3 answers in the poll here were no problem, not going to happen, and possible, but it hurts. And 54% of you said possible, but it hurts, followed by 28% saying no problem, and 18% of our community saying nope, not gonna happen.
That was just Terry Wolf on multiple Twitter accounts.
That's really funny.
He's got an account for all his alt accounts. I'm taking down the world, man. That's but it's funny because like, yeah, of course it's possible. It would my eyelid would fucking twitch the whole day if I knew I wasn't touching it. But
especially if you were in an area where you knew that there were tons of spawns and tons of stops.
Well, this is the thing for me. We got maybe a year and a half ago, we got crushed by snow. Like we were snowed in, like snow up to the doors, like you didn't go anywhere. So I couldn't spin a stop. Like I could have went out, I could have traversed, but I didn't. So my catch and my spin streaks are off by 1 day, and they've been off for like a year and a half, and it kills me. So it's like the only
You're
way
never
I
gonna
would
be
do
able to
this
get
is
it back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would take me not catching or spinning that entire day to reset them, and it's like, this could be my opportunity to reset my streaks. But oh man, I don't know. Adam, have you ever taken a day off, like since launch?
Since launch, I mean, I did like do a break, right before the water event of the first year, 2016, and then came back at the tail end. So I didn't even know that Magikarp could have been shiny. But as far as like moving forward, it would be really tough. It would be really tough. I mean, I definitely could, but it's like I don't even know, because you can't consider it.
I can quit anytime I want.
Hold on. Here's like the thing. Do you consider me opening it up?
Can't open it.
Okay.
Touching the
stop right there.
Touching the
Stop
button.
right there.
You see the icon? The second you touch it,
so
done.
I can't. No. Because I could touch it and then put on the Go Plus.
No.
You're
playing.
And
You're still
it.
playing the game.
You're
You're playing the game.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yes, you're playing
I'm
the
still
game.
engaged.
You still had to open it.
No, you're playing.
You still
the
had to
game.
open it.
You're playing
in the car
game.
before we went anywhere.
Nope. Game's
I'm the
open.
passenger.
Nope.
Because in
and you
your
wouldn't
mind,
even connect to Go
in the
Plus,
back
you
of your
fucking
mind,
cheater, using the gotcha.
You're still playing.
Yeah, I'm using the gotcha, so it doesn't make a sound.
You're still playing.
And I don't even know if it's caught anything or going up.
But you know that you're
it's on
playing.
silent
But
mode.
you know that it's possibly, potentially. But you know that you're playing.
Catching me shinies. Oh,
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Neither one of you could do it, you freaks.
Melissa would be like, hallelujah.
Oh my god.
Save me from this peril. Well, let us know what you guys think. Email us info@luredup.com and let us know how easy it would be for you to take a day off, or if it's even possible in your world scope. Because I know for a lot of people, it's like they wake up and turn the fucking game on, and that's it. They're cruising. They're cruising for the rest of the day. But let us know. Let us know if that's something that you guys think you're capable of, or something you would look forward to. It'd be very interesting to hear what you got to say. All right, you guys ready for a battle party?
Whoop whoop. I'm
Wait,
sorry,
what?
A what?
A battle party.
Ooh,
Battle party. Ooh.
That was bad.
That was
I
fantastic.
think
That
me
was
and Adam
bad.
are on.
I was all cut. I see red bars in my Audacity. My waveforms are all cut.
Too
I said,
loud.
Too loud.
Too loud.
All right, this is coming from PokemonGoHub.net. We're going to talk about Blastoise. It's pure water type, 26,291 CP. 100% catch is going to be 1409 or 1761. Boosted in the rain, water type. 1409, 1761. It's actually one of the harder tier 4s. So I think you're going to need, 3. You might be able to trio this thing, but you're definitely going to need 4 or 5 if you want to take one of these out. Water type, so it's weak to electric and grass. If it's sunny out, you definitely want to use your grass Pokemon for sure. Blastoise can learn Water Gun and Bite for its fast moves, and charge moves can be Skull Bash, the normal move, Hydro Pump, so look out for your electric types, Flash Cannon, and Ice Beam, so your grass types are going to be vulnerable to that. Best counters are going to be pretty much the electrics. Raikou, Thundershock Wild Charge, Magnezone, Spark and Wild Charge, Zapdos with Thundershock and Zap Cannon, Electivire, Thundershock Wild Charge. If you want to throw some grass in there, Tangrowth with Vine Whip Solar Beam, Roserade with Razor Leaf Grass Knot, Balloon Knot, or Venusaur with Fine Nip Frenzy Plant. And so, why? Because every time I see Grass Knot, I think
said,
Balloon
did
Knot.
you really just say that?
I
know
did, yes.
why. I
And
just can't believe you
and
did
then
it.
You could, Balloon Knot. I did it 3 times. Balloon Knot. Meow. Luxray, Mewtwo with Thunderbolt, Sceptile with Frenzy Plant, or Jolteon, or some budget alternates. Isn't it weird that Mewtwo is an alternate? Is a budget alternate?
It's corny.
So weird. It's too many Mewtwoos. Too many Mewtwoos in this world.
Did you say it's corny?
That he's budget alternate. He should be the man.
Well, look.
He should be the
if
man
you-
at all
this
times.
is-
period.
But this is a
If
good
you're,
opportunity.
if you're on a budget,
And he shouldn't
for,
be on fucking
like fighting
no
a Blastoise.
But it's because it's Thunderbolt. It's you could have like one specced out with Thunderbolt and keep it off to the side just for
Stupid.
you know.
You want to know who
get
I'm
that
going to
shiny
bring?
swag.
Want to know who I'm going to bring?
All right, go ahead, go.
I'm going to bring 2 Raikou and 2 Zapdos and a Venusaur and my Sceptile because he's nasty.
Okay, so you got some grass in there. Adam, what about you?
I am going to be bringing. Let me just pull up my battle party. A whoop. I'm bringing Sceptile, Venusaur, Abomasnow, Shiftry, Electivire, and oh my god, what's his name? It's like it evolves from Cacnea.
It's a Cacturn you're talking about?
Cacturn, that's what it is.
Yeah, those are all 100%?
All 100%.
So you're pretty much not even bringing them because they're efficient. You're bringing them just because they're 100%.
No. I mean, I heard that Venusaur was efficient.
Well, Venusaur's on the list. I guess Electivire's on the list. But
Yeah,
you're just flexing.
2 out of 6 ain't bad.
You're just flexing at this point.
Bro, he's got to flex.
Yeah, hashtag flex party.
Pokeflex. Pokeflex.
So I went balanced here. I took 2 Raikou, 2 Magnezone, and 2 Tangrowth. I think Tangrowth is a hilarious looking Pokemon, and when you use it in raids, it looks even funnier. So it's dumb. But this is definitely one where if you've got a short party, if you're only using 3 or 4 people, it might take a turn or two, because if it's raining out and it has Hydro Pump, you're going to be screwed. Your electric types are going to be screwed, so you don't want to bring them. So you might want to switch it up based on weather and moveset. But all right, cool beans. So we got some diversity here. Adam's flexing it, swagging it as usual. A couple bits of miscellaneous news before we wrap up. Just after we recorded last week, it was funny. I remember Adam sent me a text like 5 minutes after I put my headphones down. Safari Zone New Taipei has been announced. This is going to be in Taiwan, October 3rd through the 6th. Scyther, Combee, and many water, bug, and grass-type Pokemon, plus unknowns, will be spawning at the event. Heracross will be the region-breaking Pokemon. No tickets needed. So it's going to be interesting to see how this actually activates for the users, or if they're just going to have the wild spawns open to everybody where you don't have to get checked in or anything like that. But speaking of check-in, let's check in with Go Ranger.
What's up, everybody? It is Go Ranger Matt, and this is the Go Ranger check-in.
All right, one thing I want to make sure you guys are utilizing, because I am, and it's awesome, is in Go Ranger, there's a checklist builder, and he's partitioned the Shadow and Purified Pokemon. So it's very easy to make a checklist of everything that's available in Shadow and Purified forms right now. So if you're trying to, do a Living Dex or trying to complete that checklist, it's very easy to do so. So make sure you check that out. Ending this week or into the next week are the couple things we got, closing out. Water Festival is here through the 30th. Our current research breakthrough is here through September 1st. The Jumpstart with Friends bonus, which we've all kind of forgotten about but still have been benefiting from every time we do a raid, ends on September 2nd. And then Rayquaza goes away September 2nd. And then coming up in the following week, we have the Johto Journey, which is the first part of the Ultra bonus unlock. So if you remember, Ultra will be spelled out in unknowns that are coming from 10k eggs, even though unknown can't breed and can't ever be in an egg. Pokemon Go does their own thing, so you could get a unknown in an egg. Legendary beasts are going to be in raids. Hopefully their shinies will be there. Shiny Sentret and Shiny Gligar will be in the wild, and double incubator affecting this. Yo, don't sleep on Shiny Sentret.
I can't.
It's
a good looking.
It's a good looking Pokemon when it's shiny. It's yellow.
Ew.
I want it.
Deoxys is coming back to raids, and you're going to have global hatches, so the regionals will come out of 7Ks starting on September 2nd. And what Tier 5 raid do you think we're going to see after the beasts? Because we got the beasts coming in after Rayquaza.
Shadow legendary birds.
Shadow
Calling
legendary
it.
birds.
Calling it.
That would be no.
Yeah, because
no
then
more
they can
birds.
ride that through.
No, not the birds again.
All right. Oh, we got two emails. I'll run through them really quick. First one from Pidgeygrabba says, I wanted to pick the Pokemon Professor Brains to see, is there room for a single type meta in Pokemon Go PvP? Every flyer or every fire or every ghost type is allowed. Single species only. It would put a bigger emphasis on interesting, more effective moves, and probably shrink the Pokemon selection pool just a bit. Because you got to remember, when these Sylph metas come through, you're typically using Pokemon that have dual typings, because then they can benefit from extra damage with their movesets or extra resistances. So single type meta would be very challenging, and this is something that the Pokemon Global Link would do often in the VGC side of things, where they would make these interesting conditions to play these tournaments. So I would love to see this. I think it would be awesome. And then he writes, also, I want to see what you guys thought about open, non-ranked, fun cups.
Yes.
Especially in Master League. This is something that Melissa would probably be able to connect with PvP in. It says, I have a ton of raid counters powered near max, and it would be fun to bring those into PvP. Perhaps something you could stream. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that I guess, Melissa, that would be the only way you'd really want to connect with PvP, right? Is if it wasn't so serious?
Yeah. Like, I want to be able to use all my fucking maxed out high CP guys. Like, and
it's got to be the Master League.
Yeah, I want to be able to use all my fucking... What's the fucking point of catching them all and maxing them up? Why, Like, that.
And Adam, you're still on that Great League grind, right?
My strong guys.
Yes, yeah.
You're still going for it, right? Like, it's definitely a toss-up. Pidgey Grab, this is a good question. I mean, from the single-type meta, I think it would definitely work, but it would need to be a specific condition of, like, a niche tournament or something like that. And the non-ranked cups, there was rumors on Reddit the other day that the Sylph Arena Season 2 would be in the Ultra League. I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition, but I think Niantic could probably benefit the most from their internal ranking system if they capitalize on Master League, because the people already have the Pokemon. And you just want big Pokemon, big CP, big levels, big high numbers. It's easy for everyone to connect with. I think that's probably an opportunity for Niantic proper to take advantage of. And Melissa would definitely engage in that. Whereas this Great League shit, it just doesn't make sense to
me.
To her non-PvP brain.
No, I can't grasp it. My little tiny brain cannot get a hold of it.
I didn't say little and tiny. I just said non-PvP.
I know. In this aspect, my knowledge for it doesn't make sense. It does not compute.
It does not compute.
Does not.
All right, last email. This is coming from Illustrious Overseer, a.k.a. Justin. Says, I have something that has bugged me since day one about Pokemon Go, and I think we can all agree on this. The CP system is just flat out weird. When I first started playing Pokemon Go, I remember that one thing that stuck in my head was a new way to gauge the stats of Pokemon was to introduce CP or combat power. It took a lot of us veteran trainers some time to get used to the importance and value of CP when it came to Pokemon Go, but one thing I always wanted to know was why they just did away with the level system and replaced it with CP. If CP wasn't a thing and we had levels in PvP, it would be much different. Level 15 Pokemon would be for Great League, 25 for Ultra, 35 or higher for Masters. This would make it where we would not have had to have some new PvP IV system in place, and 100% or high IV Pokemon in general could matter. So this actually ties into what Pidgey Grabba was saying.
Yes. I agree. I totally agree. Get rid of the whole freaking CP thing and put levels. That would make my life so much easier.
Right? But even if they kept CP, like, why not disclose the level? It's not like an IV where it's a hidden stat. In the main series games, clear as day, you see the level. That's never something that's hidden. But that, like in the VGC, if you're entering a tournament, even if it was in, Global Link, if you had a level 10 Pokemon and you had a level 90 Pokemon, the tournament would automatically balance those Pokemon to level 50 so everyone was on the same field. That could be something that they could do here, where if they have level 35 and up is for Masters. So sure, you can be a level 20 trainer and battle in the Masters, but you're going to be competing against Pokemon that have, level 35 or higher or whatever. It's just, I think the community is kind of building its own path here, that they want to break away from the Great League. I think that's what I'm kind of getting the vibe here. Adam, what do you think? Do you think that the Master League might have kind of a resurgence as we go into 2020?
I feel it opens up a wider spectrum of Pokemon to be used, because half of the legendaries you can't use in Great League because they're not 1500.
But when else would you get excited about using a Muck or something that's just very relevant in one of the metas, like a Lantern or something like that? It's so overshadowed by legendaries and Tyrannitars and all that stuff. I guess it's just that there's got to be a balance. But I think, I don't know, man. I think Master League is got some serious opportunity to open PvP to the masses, because I think more people would just engage with it because they have the Pokemon. They don't feel like they need to work towards anything because they've already got it. They could just jump right in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Melissa's takes the perfect temperature on that, because she's got the Pokemon, she wants to use them. What else more do you need?
Yeah, just let me fucking use them and let them be relevant.
Yeah. But we did it, guys. That was the show.
Wow. We did good.
Thank you guys. Thanks to Fitz City so much from GoHub for coming on the show and talking with us. Please check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything on the channel. Check out LuredUp.com for everything that we're doing here. You can leave us a voicemail, 732-835-8639. You can send us an email just like Pidgegrabba and Illustrious Overseer did over to info@luredup.com. Like I said at the top of the show, we really need reviews, especially on iTunes. If you could help us out, we greatly appreciate it. But other than that, you guys got anything else?
Keep training, guys.
It's keep training trainers.
Keep training, trainers.